Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Monday the 8th of July. So, there's little data out today. In fact, there's none of any significant. We've got the Bank of Japan, 1:30 AM, Governor speaking. No, that's done. Right, okay. Nothing today then. So we're just really doing a follow through from last week's non-farms, etc. When non-farms came out positively surprising, and although there's some mixed numbers in there, quite interesting the fact that it was such a big surprise. So often after a big shake one way or the other, we see the opposite almost happen, as if they missed a count last time. But anyway, at the moment it's left these currencies on the back foot. Whether it'll continue like that, I'm not so sure. Wouldn't be over shocked if we saw a bit of a retracement in some of the currencies this morning against the US dollar, but we'll wait and see. But for the euro, for example, on this daily, it's broke back down. It's put two lower highs in there, and it's breaking down. It looks like it could be on as low as the prior lows there at 11.84, or even if it carried on selling off there through to 11.30. We've got still quite a wait until we get the FOMC together, although there's the expectation that the probability has changed of a cut when they next meet. Although it's changed. I'm looking on FedWatch actually. It's 94% chance it will be at 2 to 2.25. So that's a quarter of a cut. Certainly won't be the 0.5% cut that some were expecting. I think it was an overdone expectation anyway, and it would have been a great one to be doing something with. But we'll have a look. It's a bit oversold where we are on these markets. We could get it, as I say, could get a bounce back. We're just in between at the moment, and well, it's selling for the moment in the short term. But just need to watch post 8 o'clock how this sorts itself out. If it starts breaking back up, well, as I said, it's got its weekly pivot above, and that may be a target for it. Pound, similar basis. Let's just come back to the dailies first, and well, Friday. I don't know. On Friday, I've got a small long position cooking in there at the moment. I don't know if it will come into anything. It's just a sort of it took out the lows from way back. It's just here we go. Took out the lows. It got back to the lows of way back, and I just wondered whether it was worth a small entry, although if it rolls over through here, as I say, it's a small position, but it could just carry on rolling and take out those lows and push on even further. I'll look at that more on the big picture, but for where we are, we got a bit oversold on this 4-hourly picture. We got the weekly pivot that's above. Now it's not a million miles above there, and it may be just enough to get hit effectively. Short term here, it's just a case of waiting. It's hit the daily pivot, sitting into the daily pivot at the moment. If it starts breaking down, well, Friday's lows there, and maybe even a bit further down into the S1, maybe target wise. As I say, there's no news, there's nothing to really drive things today, and the market may just digest the outcome of Friday's data. Any rallies, as I said, there's the weekly pivot above. What would get me into that if I wasn't in a little long is maybe a break above the daily pivot there, but I'm around about 20 pips up in terms of where I am in the position at the moment. But I would be looking as a day trade, maybe on a break of this high there. Okay, that's the pound. Dollar yen. Yen's softened up a little bit more here. I mean, on Friday, quite a big push up there. Not unsurprising. Oh, not surprising even. Crikey. Looking where to, it's just working its way back towards its weekly pivot at the moment. High lows, high highs through that whole picture a little bit. Well, actually, the lows were a bit mixed there. It's got a bit overbought here, so again, there's some logic for it to come back probably towards that weekly pivot. If it breaks through the weekly pivot, they're on towards the daily, the weekly, the 60 moving average. get it right around the 50 moving average on 4-hourly 50. Okay, so you can see it on the smaller picture here, lower highs, lower lows confirmed on Friday today, and it's just sort of sitting around the daily picture at the moment. There's not a trade towards the weekly pivot itself on at the moment. If it was to break through to that area and break down, as I said, it's I'd be looking at the 60, maybe the 6200 there. Okay, that's the yen. Aussie dollar, well, softening there, a bearish pivot swing. At the moment it's taking the bounce, and so I'm not massively shocked that some of these markets are bouncing off that after that news. Got the weekly pivot above there at 69.95 area, which looks like it's pushing up towards at the moment. No trade into that. If we see a break, there's a nice trend line running across the lows. If we see a break of that, well, maybe that'll see us a bit more of a continuation, maybe towards Friday's lows. But at the moment, I'm erring towards more bullishness on most of these pairings, so against the dollar. So I just wonder if it will just pull back a bit more, correct itself. Canadian dollar, bit of a rally on Friday there, but sold back off again. Starting to move back again. It's choppy. It's not I mean, the whole of last week was a bit of a pig's ear. It did actually sell off quite nicely on the Monday's or Tuesday's trend break there, and broke through to the lows. Never really got too far though, and it's in a tight old spell at the moment. When it does this, if you come back to the dailies, when you get these periods here, you often end up going like back here in sort of April. It just chops, and May. It may have just run out of the momentum from this bigger move, so we'll leave that. Just quickly into the S&Ps. So S&Ps didn't really like the news too much on Friday, and we're seeing a bit of a run through here this morning. Again, well, we'll see how the markets take to it, but at the moment, it looks like it's certainly put a lower high in on Friday there, and it's pitched back up from there, but giving it back again. And maybe there's a sort of threat that they won't cut as much as expected, and we may see a little bit of a roll in the short term. So we could see it's coming down towards 29.72, towards Friday's lows there, the S1. Okay, that's pretty much it for me. Sorry, I should say, if it was to start rallying, pushing through that 21 moving average, maybe push back towards Friday's highs, it could be on the cards. Overall, I prefer the upside there, so it's just a case of just waiting for retracements. Have a great day. I'll be back in the morning. Bye for now.